Fighting group and the current flute band as well. So I'll give a warm welcome to your programme, please. The drumming and fighting group are going to come on first, and just when they get themselves ready to come on stage, just to let you know we're back here tomorrow night, where we have Dr. Gordon Lissy from the Ulster Society. He'll be giving us a wee bit of a talk on the plantation of Ulster with a local focus on County Londonderry. And so you're more welcome to come back tomorrow night. And then on Friday night, which is the last night of our festival, we have a St Andrew's night in the Royal Hotel. There's tickets available from group members, and our friend here, John, has quite a few here he wants to get off tonight. So if you haven't got one already, please see someone in the room. We've a good line up there as well. We have Wally Drennan, everybody knows Wally Drennan, and we have dancers, pipers. There's a wee dance band afterwards. Everybody wants a wee dance on the floor. So that's on Friday night. So without further ado, I will call upon the Aughrim Lambegs fighting group.
Well, good evening everyone. We're delighted to be along here tonight, the Fife and Drum group from Aughrim. And with a few stragglers with us here tonight, a few men have graciously decided to come, or given in of their time to come along with us. I'll tell you more about that later, but just to start with there, if you can still hear that is, I don't know what your ears are like there, but it's quite loud in the hall, there's no singing here. The Lambegs that we have here, I'm sure you're all more than familiar with the Lambeg drum coming from Northern Ireland or from Ulster. And the sort of politistic of the Lambeg drum is a bit vague to say the least. But the story that I have read or heard of is that the drum itself was first brought into Ulster with the Williamite army. Whenever the Dutch soldiers arrived to support William, they brought along large drums with them, but they were different than these drums. They were attached to horseback, and the riders beat the drum to keep the soldiers in time as they marched along. And they were similar in size and stature maybe to the drums, but that was about the height of it, because they were mainly made of brass, it appears. And they were carried on their side like a side drum. And of course, the Ulster man didn't have the advantage of having a horse, so he was fool enough to turn the drum on its side and try hanging it around his own neck and carrying it, and there's still Egypts at that sort of carry on today, and we're some of them. That's one theory of where the drum came from. As early as, that was in 1688, 1690, of course, when William was here. But then in, I think it was 1840, there is supposedly on record writing that says there was a drum made in Belfast by a man named Watch, and the dimensions all are actually recorded on paper or somewhere in history. And that drum was similar to these drums here in size, but it was a stave drum. It was made with oak staves, which is, if you could imagine, rather like a wine barrel as we might know today. You maybe have wine barrels cut in half and sitting around your house as flower boxes or something like that. But it was pieces of oak, and they were all butt jointed together, and they went round the drum this way here. And that was the stave drum made by a man Watch in Belfast. And some say that was the first really real Lambeg drum that ever was made. But history, as you know, there's always two sides to every story, or there's always some sort of a conflict. And there's another family then, the well-known family of drum makers from Belfast by the name of Hewitt, and they're still in business today, I think. I think the youngest member of the Hewitt family owns a shop in Shankill, or in Sandy Row. It's called Drum Sounds or something like that. I think it's Drum Sounds, but he's Hewitt anyway, from that family. And they claim that in 1870, their great-grandfather made the first Lambeg drum. And that was a drum very similar to these drums here. It wasn't a stave drum, it was a shell drum. That's what that drum there would be called. And that was 1870. The following year, 1871, it's on record that the drum was then sold to a lodge, an orange lodge just outside Moira. It was LOL 39, and that drum was then, the following year, was supposed to be played at an orange gathering, an orange demonstration in a wee town outside Lisburn, and that wee town was called Lambeg. And they say that that's where the drum got its name from that first orange gathering, that first time that the drum was paraded at the demonstration in Lambeg. There is another theory then too, that the Williamite army camped at Lambeg on their way to the Battle of the Boyne. And it was there that the drum really got its name, the Lambeg drum, because those drums that the Williamites had on the horses were then termed as Lambeg drums. So we're just not 100% clear on where the name come from. But what we're left with today is the Lambeg drums that we play, and how they got to that stage, or how we got them, there's nobody quite sure. The Lambeg drum was supposed to be sounded too at the Battle of the Diamond, whenever the rebels tried to overrun the Protestant families, and they had to gather together and try and resist the opposing rebels. And that was really the start of the Orange Order, and that's why the Orange Order really has taken to heart, I suppose, the Lambeg drum.